You're a busy professional. You don't have time for fluff. You need strategies that work, and you need them fast. Welcome to Busy Pro Fast Wellness with me, your host, Alan Welsh. We're here to give you science-backed hacks and actionable tips to boost your focus, minimize friction, and maximize your results. Less time, more impact. It's time to get well, stay strong, and thrive. Let's get to it. Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's episode. It's a special one. It's number 50. And I want to thank all of you for being part of this journey with me. And to celebrate, I'm going to give you my 5 core pillars for achieving any goal, whether it's fitness, career, learning a language, a musical instrument, or starting and finishing any project. Think of these first 4 pillars as the wheels of your vehicle, and the 5th as the engine. Then I give you my practical 5 gears tip that you can apply to any workout and even to your workday. Excuse the analogy, but let's drive this home. And I have to say, the ideas here, they're all my own, and nothing that I have gleaned from anyone else, which is amazing, given that most of the time these things are from reading or from listening to podcasts myself. I'm just obviously incorporating them into bite-sized forms so that you'll take something away. But this time, they're all my own ideas, and I'm sort of proud of them. I have to say, though, it did take me a while to incorporate them into some sort of coherent, organized framework, but it was well worth the effort in the end. I'm going to start with an opening quote today from Henry Ford. And he once said, "If everything is moving forward together, then success takes care of itself." Today, I'll show you how to make sure all your wheels and your engine are moving forward with my, dare I say it, SSCCF formula. And wheel 1 is simplicity. So I'd like you to imagine a car which is cram-packed with a boot full of crap, basically. Every extra item is slowing the car down. In life, that's the equivalent of the clutter of overcomplicated plans and what we know as the shiny object syndrome. The key here is to strip it all back to the absolute essentials. Focus on the very few actions that give you the biggest results. So therefore, if your goal is to get fitter, you don't need 12 different workouts. Pick 2 or 3 and do them well. If you're preparing for an interview, you don't need to read every single article on the company and confuse yourself with too much information. Just focus on the most relevant points. Keep it simple. Therefore, your sleek, light car will run faster, and so will you. And we're on to wheel 2, and this is called systems, and you'll have to excuse the analogies here, but they are irresistible. So, your car's wheels need to be aligned. Your systems are your alignment. They keep you on track without any constant decision fatigue. For me, a very simple system that I use is a 30-minute timer that automatically resets every half hour. When I hear the buzzer, I get up, I hydrate, I stretch, I maybe even do a few press-ups. Then I get back to work. I also use a simple 52-page calendar. Yeah, I'm old school. Actual paper. Each page is 1 week. I have a couple of notepads and some post-it notes as well. But you might prefer to use an app. And I have experimented with a couple, and sometimes I still use Clockify just to mix it up a bit. I've got it on my phone and on the desktop. But the point is, the tool doesn't really matter. It's the consistency that does matter. So good systems mean you don't have to try harder every day. You just follow the track you've laid down. Obviously, that track might change in time, and then you'll refine it to suit your needs as you move forward. Gosh, we're hurtling through here and we are already on wheel 3, and this is consistency. Now, you can't drive once a week and expect to reach your destination. Progress comes from daily, or I like to call it dailyish actions. I read that somewhere. So let's say 5 or 6 days a week. And here's a key rule. If you miss one day, that's fine. Life happens. Just don't miss 2 in a row, unless of course you've scheduled to miss them on purpose for a good reason, such as a holiday. Although a lot of the health-related ones can still be met in the vacation scenario. So consistency turns effort into habit, and this in turn creates momentum, and this consistency and habit is what carries you through even when your motivation dips. I've been there, I've done that, and it really does work, honestly. And the last wheel, wheel 4, now the car is steady, is your curiosity. So, a good driver knows the road, but keeps an eye out for better routes. Curiosity is your willingness to keep learning and improving, which is so important. Well, I believe it is anyway. Reading books, listening to podcasts, watching videos, taking notes, either on paper or in the notes app on your phone. You won't ever reach perfection. And that's the point. The more you refine your systems and skills, the smoother and faster your ride becomes. Yay. And we're on to number 5. Now, this is not a wheel, of course. This is the engine. And this is arguably the most important of everything I've mentioned so far. It's flexibility. And we need to employ this often. So, the engine is your energy source. And here's the truth. Sometimes you just can't run at full speed. Maybe you're low on sleep. Maybe you're recovering from illness. Maybe life's just heavy that day. Flexibility means adjusting your pace without giving up. Take the scenic route. Make a rest stop. This isn't weakness, it's smart driving. I mean, there's obviously days when you're not going to be able to perform at your high level. Your energy might not be firing on all cylinders. That's not a failure, that's a signal. And on those days, please take the necessary steps. Rest or sleep to recover, and then you'll come back stronger. You don't need to push against the tide when times seem difficult. Anticipate these periods, and don't feel bad when you haven't anticipated properly. But obviously don't feel bad that you haven't progressed as much as you would have liked, because flexibility is about acknowledging your humanity and allowing for recovery. This isn't weakness, of course. As I mentioned before, it's just smart driving. And speaking of a vehicle, this is so cheesy. I wanted to end this episode with a very practical tip that ties into our analogy. It's an idea that I'm calling the 5 gears. And I genuinely use this, and I've been doing this for a long time. So I want you to think of your workout or even your work session. It's like driving through 5 gears. The first gear is slow and easy. The second gear, you pick up a little speed. The third is moderate pace. The fourth, you're pushing now at a tempo pace. And the fifth, this is your maximum speed and intensity for the final burst. Then you come back down the gears, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 1st, etc. For example, if you're doing 10 hill sprints, you will start in 1st gear, which will be like a walk or a slow jog. Gear 2, the second time you do the hill run, will be a very light run. Gear 3, a steady pace. Gear 4, fast. And then gear 5, all out. And then number 6, we'll be back to 4th gear. Number 7 on these hill reps will be back to 3rd gear. So you'll be getting slower and slower as you get back to the 1st gear. And then you can rinse and repeat. You can apply the same idea to weight training by adjusting speed or weight, or to a work project by starting slow and building to a peak performance and then easing back. And the 5th gear, for example, would be the deep laser focused work. It keeps you engaged and it stops burnout. And great quote here, as Zig Ziglar said, "You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great." So you can get in the driver's seat and start moving towards your goals, one wheel, one gear at a time. And that's it. You've been riding along on this journey with me, and I appreciate that. Whether you've been listening to the podcast since episode 1, or if this is your first trip, I can't resist it. I'm glad you're here. I've got exciting things ahead for Busy Pro Fast Wellness. Guests are lined up. That's if they turn up. Go back to episode 49. If not, I will be flexible. Please keep tuning in, and please consider subscribing to my show on Spotify or Apple or wherever you find your shows. Or better still, if you possibly could, and it would really help me, write a review on Apple preferably. If you enjoyed today's episode, you can also share it with a friend or a colleague who's working towards their own goals. This is a way of showing them that you really care about them as well. And here's to the next 50 episodes. And to you driving the life you want. Goodbye for now.